ever like have a conversation after 7 years together? Did anybody sit down and say this is over?
Yeah, I'll let you talk.
Not really? Like it just sort of like fizzled one day? You hadn't seen each other? And...
Well, like,
Would you like to break up now?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says she and the defendant were together for 7 years, and while he was laid up with back surgery, she paid all the bills. And then when he hit the lotto, she got nada, nothing, zilch. It's the case of, it's not nice to fool your girlfriend's mother.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Franklin, you are suing Mr. Williams, your former boyfriend, for $2,255.63 that you say he owes you for the move.
Correct.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Well, in June of 2003, we mutually gave up an apartment to move in with my mom. We rented a U-Haul to move, and we agreed to each go half and half, paying my mom back for the rental truck and
Why
the
did your mother pay for the rental truck?
Yes,
okay.
On her credit card. He agreed to go half with the bills, and since June of 2003, I haven't received anything.
But what happened? You guys were moving into, I don't understand. What was the plan when you were moving?
Well, I couldn't afford
you breaking
the
up?
rent. No, I couldn't keep up the rent anymore, and my mom needed someone to help her out.
And what do you mean you couldn't keep up the rent?
I was paying the rent on the apartment that...
Alone?
Yes.
What was he doing?
He wasn't working at the time.
Okay. And so, and your mom needed?
She needed a little help, so
okay.
We agreed to move in
and
with
was
her.
the plan at that juncture for him to move in with you, with your mom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so the two of you move in with your mom?
Yes. Well, no. The last day of the move, he decided to tell me that he was not moving in with me.
On account of?
He just didn't want to move in with my mother.
Okay. So you guys weren't breaking up?
No.
It's just he didn't want to live with your mom?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But meanwhile, we had stored our stuff in storage. He decided to stay in the old apartment, but after a month, they evicted him. He called me and wanted to move in with my mom.
Oh, yeah, now your mother's good enough, right?
Yeah.
Now she's not annoying.
Right.
Okay, so then what happened?
So I talked with my mom, and she agreed to let him move in.
Okay.
And he agreed that
Now, how long had you two been together by that point?
7 years.
So your mom knew him pretty well?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And did they get along okay?
Yeah. She didn't like his ways, but, you know, I mean, she tolerated him. He was my boyfriend at the time.
Okay. So he moves in with you and your mom?
Yes, and he was supposed to contribute to the household as soon as he had a lawsuit against a former company. The stipulation being that if he won his case, he agreed to pay me the money that he owed and contribute, or either if he got a job first, he would help pay the bills. He lost his case, so I didn't get paid, but I continued. And then after he moved in, he had surgery.
Okay.
So he was laid up for a couple of months. So my mom, she helped him out as far as getting diabetes medicine, paying for that, because he had no insurance.
Now, that was nice of your mom, considering she didn't like his ways.
Yeah.
Well, how long did he live there?
I'd say like maybe 9 months.
Did he have a job?
No.
Okay. And was he eating?
Yes.
And who was buying his food and paying his bills?
My mom and I.
Oh, okay. So then how is it that your mom is complaining about his ways when she's enabling it, and so are you?
Well,
and the funny part is he just nodded. Isn't that bizarre?
No, I don't want to interrupt her. I want to let us finish what she got to say.
I know, but you nodded to what I just said. It's like, it's so not flattering.
I can't even believe it. What's coming out?
All right. So it's not that you agree with what I just said, right?
No,
okay.
no.
So go ahead.
I don't want to be interrupted either.
This continued to go on, and as I said, he lost his case. He moved out. He got a job. He moved out, and he got a job after that. Every month I contacted him for payment of half of the storage bill. And every month...
How much was the storage bill?
I paid $86 a month, and I paid it for 19 months.
19 months?
Yes.
Okay, where is the stuff still in storage?
Well, he's been going in there and taking things out. He was still continuing to go into the storage and take things out. So in November, I changed the locks on the storage.
Mr. Williams, what's going on?
I carried her from the day I met her. She lived with me. She'd been going to changes. She didn't pay no rent. She didn't have no money. She couldn't eat. I took care of her. And then when she said about the apartment, I tried for her to keep the apartment because I didn't want to live with nobody's mother. So I said, I went there and fought it. I stayed for a while. I kept going back and forth.
Was it your idea to break up? In other words, did you walk out?
No, when I got me a room, I was happy.
Okay, well, so you walked out on her, right? I mean, in other words, a breakup was your idea.
Well,
Correct?
the breakup was because I found me a better place to live.
That's fine, but I mean, you don't have to. Okay, that's the reason you're no longer living with her and her mother. But
Right.
but you guys actually broke up.
Oh, okay.
What? I'm asking you, man. Are you still dating her?
No, we're not together today.
Okay, when did you guys break up?
Well, it went like a slow process because she was over in one place and I was in another place, and the tit for tat, people talking about this one's messing with this one. I heard that she had a boyfriend, and I said, well, fine. You know, I got to move on. So
when you first moved out, you hadn't really broken up. It just,
No.
Did you guys ever like have a conversation after 7 years
Yes.
together? Did anybody sit down and say this is over?
Well,
okay, I'll let you talk.
Not really. Like it just sort of like fizzled one day. You hadn't seen each other, and
Well, like,
would you like to break up now? I mean, did anybody ever have the final conversation? I'm fascinated by it.
I wasn't mad at her.
What's there to be mad at? I mean, there's no closure. Did you guys break up or didn't you?
We
yeah,
still-
it was a mutual thing. In fact, we really broke up when I let him stay at my mom's house. He didn't have a place to stay.
Oh, you mean you weren't together
So we
then?
wasn't together, no.
See, I didn't know all this. I don't know
His
what's going on.
family wouldn't
Well,
take him in, and so his family
Okay,
wouldn't take
8
him in.
months, and you didn't know you weren't together, and she says you weren't together. Okay, were you together?
No.
Okay, that's sometimes a hint that you're not together. You know, jeez. Okay, now, talk to me about the move and the storage and the U-Haul. Why shouldn't you pay for half of that stuff?
We should have talked about that, because when she was living with me and stuff, I never charged her. I thought it was a couple. We worked together. We was at one. It was as one. So, hey, if I had any change, I would give her some change if I had.
So your answer is that at the time that the stuff was in storage, you figured that, you know, she was paying those bills just like earlier you had paid others, and that you were a girlfriend and boyfriend, and therefore that was how it was just shaken out, that she paid some of the stuff, you pay some of the stuff? Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Was there ever any discussion with you before the stuff went into storage that she wanted you to pay half?
It wasn't. She, once in a while, she said she wanted me to give her a few dollars to help out towards the storage. And I said I would. But, you know, I said, look, I want to get my
But you
stuff.
never did.
I gave her here and 20 here and did different things, you know.
But it's $80 a month.
Well, I'm saying I had
What
to-
about the U-Haul truck that moved your stuff too, right?
They really moved my stuff because it wasn't that much. I only had a little bit of stuff. She can have the rest of the stuff.
Okay, she can have it implies it's yours, and you're giving up your right to it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then, by definition, you have some of your stuff that was moved by the U-Haul and put into
Yeah.
the storage.
And I've been wanting it a long time ago. I couldn't get it.
You assume for $1,000 for mental anguish? What's that about?
Is he the same as their relationship? Sketchy? Will the plaintiff get more than $2 grand for storage and mental anguish? Judge Milian rules. Next. If she supported his mooching ways, does she get the money back?
Absolutely not. She was giving the money away at her own will, and, you know, if it's her own fault that she didn't realize he was playing her, so...
I'm hearing tough, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. Ma'am.
No, she shouldn't get it back. It's a gift. If the roles were reversed, she would not want to give the money back.
Okay, we are going inside the courtroom. Here's Judge Milian.
I've been handling Wayne's affairs since we've been together. Like I said, with this lawsuit that he gone through, he was supposed to reimburse me. I did all the typing, the research.
Reimburse you for what?
For the typing and the time that I put in for researching for this.
You know, when you go to court because you've been wronged, the money that you get if you win is supposed to make you whole. It's not supposed to be a little bonanza that everybody who knows you feels that they deserve a chunk of, okay? Look, that U-Haul was intended to move both of your items. That storage is intended to house both of your items. I understand that in relationships there are, you know, there's a give and the take and there's a flow, and, you know, sometimes somebody covers things and sometimes somebody else covers things. But it sounds to me like you're not even in a relationship, that she's basically being Florence Nightingale to you after your surgery, and she's helping you out at her mother's, and so is her mother. So I don't really think that you're in a position to say, I thought she was my girlfriend just covering my stuff, and I never knew I would have to pay for any of this stuff, and therefore I shouldn't. I am going to order you to pay the stuff she does have proof for, and your half, not all of it, your half of the stuff that she has proof for. And by my calculations, that comes up to $1,067.02. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
All right, so the plaintiff gets, well, roughly half of what she sued for. Come on over here. How do you feel about this verdict, the way it just came down on you?
I don't think it was fair, but, you know, because I did a lot of things. I carried her along for a long time.
Why didn't you two communicate more? I mean, did the relationship ever actually have a definite ending? Like, can you pick a date that it ended?
I was still talking with her, you know, here and there, but she...
Is it still going on, kind of?
Oh, no, never that. It's
You
over
sure
with.
it's over?
It's over with.
Right. You sure you didn't pretend that it was still going on so you wouldn't have to pay half the expenses?
Nah, we weren't working like that. You know? Okay.
All right, thanks a lot.
Right this way, sir. All right.
So you satisfied with what you got out of this?
Yes, I am.
Why did you two communicate in such a gray way?
Well, I mean, I did communicate with him. He just doesn't remember. I mean, the relationship was over.
You said it's over,
Yes,
and he just didn't hear it or doesn't remember it?
just didn't hear it.
He has a bad memory that way?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All right.
So I'm glad justice was done.
All right. Right
Thank
down
you.
that way. All right, let's get to Harvey.
Okay, Kurt, we've talked about this before, but if you're in a relationship where the terms, the financial terms, are uncertain, you need to either get in writing exactly who's paying what, or you need to lay it out item by item by making sure things are paid for with a check with the notations in the memo line.